So I normally don't do YouTube videos, so this is my first time. My name is April. A little bit about myself. I am a photographer. I'm also a PCT. I used to be a phlebotomist. I have 8 grandchildren. I have 3 kids, all grown, have their own lives. My husband and I just moved out to the country to a beautiful house with 40 acres. Absolutely stunning. We love it out here. And, life's a little struggle. But I decided that I wanted to get on here and just kind of be a little bit of an inspiring type of a person, I guess, to talk about women in general. So as you can see, I don't have dentures. I don't have teeth. My journey has been very rough. So a little bit about my history. I was born in Texas. I had a monster for a biological sperm donor. I was beaten every day of my life. And when I say beaten, I don't mean spanked. I mean literally, physically beaten. Anything he could get his hands on, that's what I was hit with. My brothers were also beaten. I tried protecting them as much as I could. It was something that could be your worst nightmare. We feared him. He was a drunk. If you've ever read the story It, I was pretty close to it. I can remember one of the worst beatings I ever got was when one of his girlfriends that he called his wife, because in his mind, if he had a girlfriend, they were his wife. Because if he said, "You are my girlfriend," in his brain, if he said, "You are my wife before God," then they were married. Because that's how stupid he was. We were forced to call them mom. If we did not call them mom, we were beaten. And I'm talking with belt buckles, switches, you name it, we were hit with it. There was one day that this woman, her name was Judy, she had 2 kids, and we were not allowed to make anything less than an A. I wasn't, at least, on my grades. And we had grades sent home. She was so afraid her daughter was going to get beaten. So she took all of her daughter's name off of all of her papers. And she put my name on her daughter's papers and her daughter's names on my papers. And when he got home, his name was Emery. When he got home, she handed him her daughter's papers. And she had all A's because they were mine. And of course, I did not have all A's. And I remember him taking me, and I was telling him the whole time, those are not my papers. Those are not mine. And then he called me a liar, and he punched me, he hit me, he stripped me down stark naked, took me outside, grabbed switches, started beating me, just beating me crazy. I remember running in circles trying to run away from the switch, and he had my arm, and that just made him more angry. So he grabbed a wire that was on the ground, started hitting me with that. And then my neighbor came over and was trying to stop him. He got in a fight with my neighbor. Then he pulled me out because I ran into the doghouse to hide from him. He grabbed me by my hair, pulled me out of the doghouse, started beating me again. And I learned that day that there is a certain amount of beatings that you can get, that you do go through the burning to the numbness to no pain at all. When I got to that point, then he thought I was making fun of him. So he beat me some more. This beating went on for the longest time. And then he decided that I needed my wounds cleaned out. So he poured a big bottle of vodka, which, by the way, was his drink of choice, next to beer. And he poured it inside of really hot water. And he threw me in the bathtub and then poured alcohol in there, actual like isopropyl alcohol in there. And he made me stay in it. Talk about burning. Oh my God. I burned so bad. It was unbelievable. I was screaming, crying. And then he came in there and slapped me around because I was screaming and crying in pain. And, you know, that concept, when someone's crying from pain, you don't slap them to get them to shut up because they're hurting, because you're just hurting them more. Why people do that, I don't know. It's just really ridiculous. Like, don't slap a baby because they're crying and tell them to stop crying because they're hurting, because you're just hurting them more. So I didn't go to school for a while because I had bruises and cuts and just everything. My eyes were swollen. My face was swollen. The school called the police because I wasn't in school. Police showed up at my house. When they came in, they wanted to know what was wrong with me. Why did I have so many bruises on me? Why was my face all bruised up? I told them the truth. I got so beat when they left. I told them the truth. This dumbass told them I fell out of a tree. So what? I fell out of a tall tree and I hit every freaking branch on the way down. The police believed him. So back then, we're talking early 70s. Okay, I was born in 71. I'm 54. So I cannot, looking back, I'm thinking, what were those police thinking? Seriously, like, would I even be alive if I would have fallen out of a tree like that? Would I have hit every single branch on the way down and had all of the scrapes and bruises that I had on my body? They looked like switch marks. I had belt buckle marks on my body. I had places on my body where he took cigarettes and put them out on me. I still to this day have scars. And these idiots believed him. I was like so scared when they walked out the door because I knew what was going to happen. I told the truth and I got another beating. So this went on in my life. He sold me to people for alcohol. I learned how to use a gun at a very young age because that was the only way I could protect myself. It was a very miserable life. And then my mom married this amazing man. His name was Martin. And she moved to Missouri, and we were left with Mr. Monster. And when he found out that there was all this stuff going on, and that Emery was trying to sell me for alcohol, and that I was being molested, and there were other things going on. He jumped in a car, and I was 10 by now, 10. He drove all the way to Texas. And when that man pulled up in front of my house, I ran out that door and I jumped in his arms, and I was so excited to see him. And he said, "Do you want to come home with me?" And I said, "Yep." And I jumped in the car. And he said, "Don't you want to get anything?" And I said, "I don't have anything." And he brought me to Missouri. And I never looked back. And I knew at some point God had to put me here for some reason, because there is no way that I could have survived what I survived without having a purpose. And I never knew what that purpose was. I still don't know what that purpose is. But let me tell you something. Going from that atmosphere and then moving to Missouri and I called my stepdad Dad, and he was my father. He raised me. And having a father who loved you unconditionally, never raised his voice to me, never raised his hand to me, taught me that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to make an A-. It's okay to make a B. You don't have to be afraid. You can be imperfect and still be loved. And you can be imperfect and be a wonderful person. I had to learn that. My first report card, I made an A-, and I hid in the closet in fear. I was shaking so bad I was throwing up. And he came into the room and was like, "Honey, why are you hiding?" And I was so scared. And I just remember saying, "I'm not coming out." And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Because you're going to beat me." And he said, "Oh, honey, I will never do that to you. Why are you so scared?" And I handed him my report card. And he giggled. And I was like, "Why are you laughing at me?" And he goes, "Honey, is this the best you could do?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Come here." And he set me on his lap. And he said, "I'm proud of you." That was the first time in my life I'd ever heard those words. Mind you, I was 10. I didn't hear the words, "I love you." I didn't hear the words, "I'm proud of you," until that day. And to me, that melted me. That was assurance. That was agape love. That was something that just showed me what a family was like. I wasn't afraid to ask for food. I wasn't afraid to be myself. I wasn't afraid to be a kid, because I wasn't allowed to be a kid down there. I wasn't allowed to be a 10-year-old. I mean, when I was, 5 years old, I was having to take my baby brothers in the middle of the night while he was having orgies and hide them in a camper because he was kicking us out of the house. Emery, the biological sperm donor, that is. And I remember stealing food from the little store down the street because he wouldn't feed us, or he would disappear and things like that. And when I moved to Missouri, I didn't have to worry about that anymore. It was such a change in an atmosphere. And I remember when my uncle found out about what he did, I will never forget my uncle coming over to the house and confronting the biological sperm donor and punching him in the face so hard it knocked him off the front porch. That was fun. Watching that man fly off the front porch that was fun, let me tell you. And then the day my granny died, I found her, and this man used to tell us that dead people came back to life and took kids to hell with them. So he used to take us to graveyards and leave us there. And he would come back later and scare us. And this was something that he used to think was funny. So I was scared of dead people for the longest time. Mind you, my invisible friend, which, by the way, when children talk to invisible people, they're not invisible people, they're spirits, was an Indian. And he was my, I call guardian angel. But when my granny died, I found her and I thought she was going to come back to kill me. So I hid in the corner in her house. My little brother ran running down the street and he was screaming, "Granny's gone, Granny's gone." My dad punched him in the face so hard it broke his nose. Mind you, my brother was like, I think 4 at the time. So imagine if you have a 4-year-old child screaming, "Granny's gone." 4 years old, and you're a grown adult, and you punch that 4-year-old in the face so hard you break his nose. 4 years old. I have 2 grandbabies that are 4 years old, 3 actually, that are 4 years old. I could not fathom someone punching them in the face. I'd kill them. But this man did. That's how wicked and evil this man is. And he's still alive. And he thinks I should let him live with me. Screw that shit. Psh, dude, you can stay homeless. I don't care. You can stay homeless. I don't owe you shit. You can, nope. Go sleep on that concrete bed you made, because that's where you belong. Anyway, I have so much more that I could tell you. My story, let me tell you, my life story, I could write a book. You die. I've got funnies, I've got sads, I've got wonderfuls, I've got lots of ups, lots of downs. I've got recently, let's see, in the last 7 years, I've had both of my brothers were murdered. No, I'm sorry, take that back. My nephew, my brother were murdered. My other brother died. I mean, trust me, you're going to want to follow this. I've had a crazy life. And a lot of people have looked at me, my close friends have looked at me and been like, "I don't know how you're still standing as strong as you are, because you have been through hell." Yep, I sure have been through hell. But you know what? I stand back up every time I fall. Even when there's no one to pick me up, I still stand back up because I have to. Because that's what life's about, right? If something knocks you down, you just get right back up and you just keep on going, because that's what you do, especially us women, because a lot of people expect us to fall, and a lot of people expect us to fail because we're women, especially women who come from bad backgrounds. They really expect us to fall because they expect us to be a statistic. I'm not a statistic. I didn't fall into the alcoholism. I didn't fall into the drugs. I didn't fall into the abuse. I didn't fall into any of that. I survived it because I'm a survivor. I rose above it. And I decided I was not going to be anything like what he was. I was not going to be that parent. I was not going to be that person. So I became a better person. And I decided that he was a piece of shit and I wasn't going to be that. So I rose above. And every time I've been knocked down, and trust me, I have been knocked down a lot, I've picked myself back up again every single time. And one of the things that I decided to do as a photographer, I've seen a lot of women who have been in controlling relationships with their husbands. I've seen women who have been like, oh no, I can't wear that because my husband would be mad. I'm like, honey, you wear what you want. As long as you're modest about it and you feel good in it, wear it. So one of the things that I personally love to do is help women to learn to love themselves, because I myself, over a year ago, had to learn to love myself. I was at the lowest point in my life. I felt, I need to use my words wisely. I felt invisible, unloved, unwanted. I felt very alone. I felt like I was nothing. And I thrived to teach other women how to feel loved and beautiful in their own skin, from the inside out, not from the outside in. Because this right here is superficial. What matters is what's on the inside. So once you start loving yourself, you feel beautiful no matter what. This is me raw. I look like crap right now. I have curly hair. I just brushed my hair out so it looks like a frizz-ball. I don't have makeup on. I'm in my pajamas. Do you think I care right now? No, I'm coming to you raw. I'm not embarrassed about not having teeth anymore because I can't get implants like they're telling me I have to do because I can't afford it. Dentures don't fit me because I have an extra bone in the roof of my mouth. I lost my teeth to Lupron injections in 2000 because I had endometriotic cancer. I had to have a full hysterectomy when I was 29. It was miserable. I went through 6 months of Lupron injections. They were horrible. I had a lot of side effects. My jawbone is almost non-existent. So now they told me that the only thing I could do is get implants. Unfortunately, that's expensive. I do have dentures, but they do not fit. They cause me to puke every time I put them in my mouth because of the extra bone. The only implants I can get are called zygomatic implants. And it's going to cost like, I think they said $20,000. Who has $20,000 just laying around, right? Yeah, I got that money tree right there growing out in my field. Not. Yeah, one day I'd love to do it, but not happening anytime soon. But I've learned to just accept it. I used to wear a mask when COVID was around because I worked in a hospital, so I wore a mask all the time. And that was my cover up. So even after COVID, I wore a mask. And then I decided, you know what? No. People can take me as I am. They can just accept it. Because if that's all they're looking at, then they're superficial and they don't need to be in my life. They can accept me for me, smart ass, blunt, and here I am because I'm not superficial. I don't wear jewelry. I'm just me. I am not a extravagant person. I'm a farm girl. I like to get dirty. I like to fish. I like to do all that stuff. I don't know. It's just me. love animals. If I could have a rescue, I would. I would love to turn this place into an animal rescue. Love dogs, love horses, love miniature horses. I have a passion for animals. They call me the animal whisperer because for some reason animals cling to me. But anyway, back to women. I got off the subject. I've had women do photo sessions with me, and I have changed how they look at themselves because I've brought them in. We've put on different clothes that they're normally not in, made them feel good about themselves, did their hair, their makeup, everything, and then I'd let them be themselves in front of the camera, making them laugh, making them feel good about themselves, putting them like in their own experience, in their own bodies, and then they look at the camera and they look at their photos and they're like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's really me. Yeah, that is you, and look how beautiful you are. And then they realize, oh my gosh, I am. Yeah, you are. You are gorgeous. So it doesn't matter what you really look like on the outside. You are beautiful no matter what. And that's what women need to learn. Because no matter what experiences you've had in life, no matter how many times you've been knocked down, no matter how many people have put you down, no matter how many people try to degrade you, stop you, call you names, do whatever, you are beautiful. And they need to remember that, and you need to show them that. And I've had people try to stop me. I've had people try to knock me down. I've had people try to do all kinds of crap. And you know what? Turn up, turn away. Because you know what? I look at them and go, I am so glad I am so important to you that my name comes out of your mouth. Thank you. Thank you. Love you too. You know? Because if I'm that important for them to have to do that, there must be some reason for it. So either they're jealous or they got nothing better to do with their time than to be a bully. It's that simple. Because who in their right mind goes around talking shit about people and wanting to talk about other people like that unless they're obsessed with that person, jealous of that person, or they have nothing better to do with their time than to be a bitch or to be a bully. I mean, seriously, let's talk reality. For real. So, the next time someone does that to you, thank them because you're important to them apparently. So don't get pissed. Don't get angry. Say thank you because you are important to them. It's obvious or they wouldn't be talking about you. That's what I do, you know? So until next time, and I'll be back on here, and it'll probably be tomorrow morning because I have insomnia and I don't sleep because I also have fibromyalgia and I have celiac disease, and the two of them are clashing right now. So my whole body hurts right now. And yeah, I don't sleep because I hurt. Can you tell that by looking at me? Because I kind of can. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. And thank you. Let's see who got on here. Oh my goodness, I got a lot of people on here already. Hey guys. Hi Grayson. Hi Teresa. Hi Don Cheer. Another Tessa. And Don Nerdy Newton. Oh, that's cute. Somi. Beautiful Earth. Oh, I love that. Oh, you should see my hair when it's curly. I'll have it curly for you later when I take a shower. It's curly, let me tell you. I have to do this to brush my hair and see how frizzy it gets. It's like crazy. It's all frizzy right now, but when I get out of the shower, my hair's gonna go just like that. It's crazy. I cannot use a brush on my hair, like an actual brush, because I literally look like a sheep when I do. Because just doing what I did, see, it's all it's all frizzy because I just do this like that, and it's like all extra frizzy. I mean, because I have really curly hair, and yeah, it's crazy. My hair and I have a love-hate relationship. I thought one time I would cut my hair off and donate it to Lots of Love. So I had 17 inches of my hair cut off. And I had it cut up to here. That was when I was in nursing school. So I had my hair cut up to here, and I thought, oh my gosh, I am going to be able to cut my hair, and I'm going to have to do nothing with it. Oh, I was dead wrong. I was so dead wrong. I had to do something with my hair every day, and I am not that person. If I cannot get ready in 5 minutes, I'm not doing it. So I had to fix my hair every day, and I was mad. I was like, oh my God, I have to actually like do something with my hair. It was crazy. I don't know how you women do that. Like, how do you guys spend 30 minutes fixing your hair all the time? Like, I don't have time for that. I'm like, oh my God, like, how do women do that? How do they sit there and like put makeup on and do their hair and like all that stuff all the time? I mean, y'all are beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I just don't have the patience and time to sit in front of a mirror and do the makeup and the hair and all that stuff. Like, I wash my hair, I put my conditioner stuff in there, I scrunch it, I do my little diffuser with my hair, and I'm done. Like, I'm done. And I mean, that's it. That's all I do. And the most I might put on a makeup is like a little bit of foundation and then some mascara, and that's it. And I think the longest time I spend anything on myself is my nails, because I'm wanting to go back to school to be a nail tech. I have to finish my hours. So right now I'm just kind of in limbo. And so I practice. So these are the ones I did last night. I don't know if you can actually see what I did. I did fire. It's called Fire and Ice is what I did. But I do artwork on my nails. So I do actual like people, and I do oceans and scenery and animals and like actual art on my nails. So it's really cool. Anyway, so I will get back on here later, and I will continue my story, and that's it. So if you guys want to keep following me or whatever, you go right ahead, and I will talk to you guys later.